What time is it? It's like 12:30. So, okay. All right. It's 12:30 where I'm at. So, afternoon is what I'm going to say then to you. Afternoon, everybody. Oh my gosh. Body image. Body image is definitely what this is kind of inspired my 17-year-old daughter, who I think graduated the other night. I don't know. She's been homeschooling. I think that she's graduated. So, yay, yay, yay. There is child number 4. Graduated from high school as of 2020. So that is really, really cool beans right there. But she was showing me her Instagram or TikTok or something that she posted a picture, and I told her, I was like, I'm totally stealing her words, because I was like, girl, like, I love my daughters. I love all my kids. My daughters, though, all have just such a beautiful perspective on the world and are quite outspoken about different things. They're strong young women. So, kudos to their mama, right? Like, good job, mama, for raising strong young women. But, now she posted this body image thing, and I'm totally stealing her words. I'm probably going to write about it a little bit earlier. I'm going to take her like post and everything and get a little bit real and raw about body image. And it was making me think about different things, but it all got started, her sharing her body image post with me, got started because I am in love with my boobs. And I told my guy, and I also told Addison today, I was like, I am going to do a conscious coffee on my boobs. I'm just going to talk about my boobs today. Not really, but there's a point to it, right? So what is the point? The point is about self-love, right? And how do we manifest the life that we want, the world that we want, abundance, joy, love, money in the bank, the lover in the bed, the body that you want, all this kind of stuff. How do you manifest this stuff? And without loving yourself, right? And we talk about a lot of things about loving self, and people say all the time, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. But at the end of the day, is that true? The majority of people are a no. At the end of the day, there is these little critical things that we have about ourselves, and we're like, oh, and what we don't realize is that those little fears, those little criticisms that we have about ourselves are actually humongous, because we have a humongous pile of little criticisms about ourselves. And this is really going, gentlemen, you guys have a lot of body image stuff too. I'm going to hit this from the female perspective, because us ladies out there, we struggle. We are on the struggle bus when it comes to our bodies, when it comes to self-love, all that kind of stuff. We really do hit ourselves pretty hard on this. And I know that in relationship, it plays a significant part to our relationships. Our ability to love ourselves, to feel good in our own skin, it comes out in the bedroom, in our sex. It comes out in our confidence level in our relationship. If we have, guess what? Jealousy issues are a lot of the time caused by worthiness issues. And those worthiness issues, guess where the worthiness issues come from? It's, well, I don't think that I'm good enough for this relationship. I don't think that I'm good. Like, I need to do this. I need to do that. I need blah, 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 blah. All this kind of stuff. So there's this hatred towards self. There's this lack of acceptance towards self. There's these issues that we have, criticisms that we have. And so it weakens us because we're not fully accepting of who we are and the skin that we're in. And one of the things that I have learned is that when we are loving ourselves, when we are turned on to ourselves, when we are like, yes, 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 guess what? That builds confidence. That builds this energy, this magnetic energy. And that's that acceptance of who we are. If we can get into accepting ourselves, it's a really highly magnetic trait to have. Hey, Lance, I see you there. So it's like really just about loving self. And so I'm going to tell you about my boobs, okay? I'm going to tell you about my boobs because that's what this got all started on. And, all right, so I don't have the biggest boobs on the planet. Thank God. I'm not a big boob person, really. I did think about getting a boob job eons ago, and then I talked myself out of it. And I told myself, this was like me in my 20s, I had a B cup into my 20s, and then I had kids, and my boobs got to a C cup. And I was like, yeah. And that's what I have. So if anybody was ever wondering what size boobs does Kendal have, it's a C cup, okay? So not that matters. What matters is how we feel about our bodies, right? So here it is. In my 20s, I hated my breasts. absolutely hated them. I would walk around like this and I would hide them, and I would, arch my back, and I would just just crouch over, and I would wear clothes that were not very revealing, and I would wear big, thick, padded push-up bras trying to make them look some way and all this kind of stuff, and I was completely insecure around my breasts. I thought that they were horrible, absolutely horrible. I thought it was a wall. And I used to make jokes about that, the walls are jealous of me. I used to say that the walls are jealous of me because I'm flatter than the wall. I had a B cup. I was not flatter than the wall. But that was what I would say. And every time I looked in the mirror, I would have disgust over my chest, and it was just like I did not feel good about it. And then moving down the road, well, then I had kids, and then I started to have disgust about other body parts. And I was like, oh shit, now I've got stretch marks. Now, my butt's not as tight as what it used to be. It's not this, it's not that. Now my abs, I got to do these ab workouts. Now I have like the mommy poochie thing going on. Now I have 10 extra pounds. Now I have all these kinds of things. And it just started this derailing process of me not loving me. Not that I started out loving me, because in my teen years I was critical of myself. In my 20s I was critical of myself, and it actually took until I was about 35, 36 for me to really be able to look in the mirror and go, always room for improvements, but I love me in the skin that I am in. And I remember probably 33, 34, 35, somewhere in there, I had a lover who was in my world for 7-8 years. And I remember his words after one of our lovemaking sessions. I remember him just massaging my breasts and kissing me and telling me how much he loved my breasts. And I was like, why? Because I didn't feel that way about them, but he did. And he said, I love that they're real. He's like, I've been with women that have fake breasts, and it's just this foreign tissue, and they're this and they're that. And he's like, yeah, they're kind of fun to play with every now and then, but they're just not real. There's a different feeling, a different connection. And the fact that you are just real in this department is just, it feels like he really loved it. And he just like hyped it up. Well, at that time in my life, I was in an open relationship. I actually wasn't in a hardcore serious relationship. I had 11 boyfriends going. I had 11 men telling me how much they loved different things. And one of their thing was that they really loved my breasts. And that just started to change my perspective, because I had gone in and I had done all the initial stuff to go get a breast job. I was like, I was going to get a lift, and I was going to get a cup or a cup and a half. I don't remember what it was. I was looking at all these different things, and I was exploring and everything. And I was really like right on the cusp of getting a breast job done. And I was just like, I maybe I should just wait. And I started to realize that there was all these things that I wasn't happy about with myself, that it wasn't just my boobs. It was other things that I wasn't happy about with myself. I wasn't happy about my commitment to my health. I wasn't happy about all the choices that I was making on a day-to-day level. I wasn't happy with my business. I wasn't happy with my spiritual connection. I wasn't happy in the relationships. I loved the relationships I had, but I wanted something deeper. I wanted something richer. I wanted something more. And then I looked at my body too, and I went, all right, well, I'm not happy with this and this and this with my body either. So if I go and I get a boob job, all right, so maybe that fixes temporarily this breast challenge that I have. Maybe then I will look at my breasts and I will be like, oh yeah, right? But does that fix the stretch marks? Does that fix my attitude? Does that fix my viewpoint? Does that fix my alignment to myself? And all of a sudden I get my boobs done, and now I'm aligned to the heavens, and now I'm aligned to my core because my boobs got done, and now I'm worthy of success. Now I'm worthy of the relationship. Now I'm worthy of all that stuff just because I get some tissue stuck in there and like boop, boop, boop. No, I know myself well enough that I'd probably get caught up on the scars and all that kind of stuff. I get all OCD about this or that. Who knows? And it's probably not be a healthy thing for me. But I started to look at it and I went, all right, I make a commitment to myself that I am going to go and I'm going to do all this work on myself before I go get a boob job. I'm going to go and I'm going to do this work and this work and this work. I'm going to work on myself mentally. I'm going to work on myself spiritually. I'm going to work on my physical body. I'm going to work on my financial well-being. I'm going to work on my love life, my relationships, my connection, my presence level, my everything. I'm going to work on all these other things. And if when I get to a point that I can look in the mirror and I can love myself and I can look at my body in the stance that it is in, whatever that condition might be, whether it is 10 pounds too heavy or right on the nose where I want it, whether my muscles are toned perfect the way I want them, or, oh, I still got a little mommy stuff going on, right? No matter what it is, if I can look in the mirror and I can look myself in the eyes and I can smile at myself and I can go, damn girl, you're looking good today. You feel good today. And I can do that consistently and really accept, embrace, and love myself. If then, after that consistent process has happened and I can do that, I feel that, hey, a breast job would be a nice little extra added bonus to the package, then I'll say yes to myself. Then I will do it. Now, still don't find myself perfect, but I accept every little scar and stretch mark and a little extra however many pounds it is right now, because I happen to have just lost 15 pounds over this whole COVID thing. Actually, over the last 7-8 weeks, I don't know what it is. It's energy. I'm convinced I've been doing a lot of energy movement, a lot of heart stuff, a lot of, just clearing out of the old. And I've lost 15 pounds seemingly overnight. My body is feeling great. I just told Addison this morning, I said, this whole thing, I haven't been sick all year long, minus that beet juice little epidemic that I had. I got a hold of some bad beet juice a few months ago, and oh my God, that felt like COVID's got nothing on bad beet juice, let me tell you. But I got really sick last year around this time, and I was sick for about 10 days or 2 weeks, and I was talking to my hairdresser about it because she was in China and stuff right before the outbreak of COVID and everything. And she got really sick when she got home, and she's convinced because she hasn't been sick all year either. And she's like, I think I got COVID. And then I came home, but we didn't know what it was and all that kind of stuff. And I saw her right then, and I think that I got it too right then. And I've just been feeling great. And I've had people come into my sphere that, thought that they had it, some people that did. And just nothing. I'm just being clean as clean can be. I'm just feeling really, really good. A little bit tired every now and then, kids stuff going on, all this kind of stuff. But for the most part, I've had a really healthy year. But a lot of that also comes down to the self-acceptance, the appreciation, the love of self, and just really feeling good and doing the internal work. And really taking this year to do that internal work, because that's what I think that 2020 has been a beautiful offering of, is an opportunity to do the deep dive work, to not get caught up in different things, and to actually shift our inner world into alignment with who we are and our core. And that comes back to that self-love, that self-acceptance. Because if you're not loving yourself, if you're not accepting yourself, then how the fuck do you ever expect others to, number one, be able to see you for you, right? And I know a lot of people are running around out there, and I've been guilty in the past of saying this too. I don't feel seen. I don't feel heard. I don't feel appreciated. I don't. Well, of course you don't, because you're not seeing yourself. You're not feeling yourself. You're not listening to yourself. You're not appreciating yourself. You're expecting the outside world to fill in the gaps for you when everything's an inside game, and you've got to love yourself, appreciate yourself, see yourself, hear yourself, really be in your alignment with you so that others can actually embrace you and see you. Otherwise, they're just getting these piss poor half versions at best of you, right? So you're wanting this. You're not feeling seen. All right. Fine. What else is it? Oh, well, my world's not really working out for me. Like I think these thoughts, I do these practices, I meditate, I exercise, I'm dieting, I'm on dating apps, I'm reading the books, I'm journaling, I'm taking this class or this class, I'm doing all this, whatever it is that you're doing that has you thinking that you're doing the work, right? But then at the end of the day, are you really truly doing the work? Because what are you doing when you look in the mirror in the morning, when you're brushing your teeth, when you're washing your face, when you get out of the shower? I have a mirror right there by my shower, Actually, I have 2 mirrors in my bathroom. And it's like, what? I get up, I brush my teeth. I actually don't wash my face the first thing in the morning. I let the oils from the night just kind of absorb in and everything, and then I wash later. But I brush my teeth after I sit in bed, do my meditation, have my coffee, do all that kind of stuff, get up, brush my teeth, throw my clothes on to take my hour walk, right? So I'm up by 6:30 and I'm taking that hour-long walk. And you know what I do? I stand there in my sweatpants, right? All right, I'm gonna show you what I do. I stand there in my sweatpants, these sweatpants, see, I have not changed. I stand there in my sweatpants and I just have this on, okay? That's it. I just have this on. And you know what I do? I look at myself. I just look at myself. And I see myself. It's kind of cold out here. And I see myself. And I go, I see you. I love you. And I appreciate myself. I appreciate the body that I have. Even though I know it's not perfect by whomever's standards, including my own. But I appreciate the fact that my body is in really good working order. My body feeds me the life that I want. Due to my body, I have the energy, the capability to create a beautiful life, to experience the world, to be an active mother in my children's lives, to create programs and work with people. That's all my body, right? And my mind and my heart and my soul. But without my body, well, I wouldn't be able to do 98% of the things that I get done. And I do have fantastic fucking stamina and energy. And it's because I choose to take that moment in the morning to feed myself some positive reinforcement of self-love. So I ask you today, do you take the time, truly, can you look yourself in the eyes, not look away, not just look at your body parts, not just go, oh yeah, my hair, like that, and you avoid eye contact with yourself? Yeah, I used to do that all the time. Could not make eye contact with myself, walked pigeon-toed, was hunched over, crossed my arms, like that, hid my hands so that you couldn't see my hands like that, would talk to the ground, walking through the store, couldn't make eye contact with anybody else, avoided mirrors and making eye contact with myself, avoided the camera like it was the plague. Maybe like it was COVID. I don't avoid though. That it was a plague. That's what we'll say. Avoided the camera like it was plague. Because I was scared of me, because I wasn't accepting me. So where are you not accepting yourself? Can you look yourself in the eyes? Can you appreciate the body that you're in, the skin that you're in, and be grateful for the fact that your body is operating, that you have all these opportunities, that your lungs are working, your heart is working, you have limbs that move. You have an opportunity in the breath in this morning to get going and make decisions. Can you love what you got going on? Because if you can get to a state of just accepting, you don't have to get to the love right away. If you can just get to a state of the accepting of self, you become magnetic. And yes, you become magnetic to other people, because who doesn't love a confident person? Who's not attracted to somebody that is just glowing in confidence, that feels good in their own skin? You can tell people that feel good in their own skin versus people that don't feel good in their own skin. And each one of them can smile at you, and you can tell where somebody's at just by their energy, how they are putting themselves out there, right? And that's the whole thing. It's like, How do you really truly feel? Because that's what magnetizes. That's what brings in all the good shit. That's what puts the lover in your bed. That's what helps put the money in the bank. That's what brings you the well-being. That's what brings you the opportunities, the adventures that you're looking for. And guess what? That's what brings you the happiness. Because guess what? Happiness comes from where? Well, actually, I was listening to Matthew McConaughey the other day, and his new book out, Green Lights and stuff, which I have not started reading yet because I'm working on another book. But Matthew McConaughey has a new book out called Green Lights, and it's all about creating the green lights in your world. And I've heard good about it, but I've also heard some not so good about it. So I don't know. Get the book, read it. It's going to be good. I mean, for majority of people out there, anything that's preaching about like, here's how you create green light scenarios in your life, like some of them we have to really work hard for, some of them kind of just fall in our lap, sometimes, some of them this, some of that. Lance, you read it? Okay. So it's like those green light scenarios. Well, one of the things he was talking about was happiness versus joy, and happiness really being about outside influences, that our happiness is based on our outside world and what people are bringing to us. Now, I don't know exactly if I'm 100% in agreement with Matthew here or not, but I get what he's saying. If our happiness comes from outside influences, is it truly our happiness? And then he was talking about that joy is an emotion that comes from deep within, right? And then we can think of more of like a spiritual joy when we are in alignment to ourselves, when we are appreciative of life, of all the things that are coming for us from inside ourselves. There is a joy there. And whether you call it internal happiness or joy, whatever it is, it has to come from inside in order to truly access and hold on to, have that stability in it on the outside world. Otherwise, you're living a reactive life. And living a reactive life makes it where you are never in control of the situations. You will consistently feel like a victim to your life because you're living from a reactive standpoint. Right? So where's your happiness coming from? Is it because, this person said this, that person said that, this event happened, you got the job, this happened, that happened, you got the promotion, you got your stimulus check, so now you're happy, like that, yay, I'm so happy. Really? Really? Because how do you really truly feel on the inside, right? Or can you say that, hey, I can look in the mirror, or I can sit in meditation and I can close my eyes and I can breathe into my body and I can have appreciation, gratitude for this life, for this experience, no matter what is going on in the experience. Because even in the darkness, there is beauty, there is opportunity, there is joy that can be found for the lessons, for the connections, for the love that can be found there. And if you can go in and you can have appreciation there and you can find that internal joy, well then, that's where the magic really starts to happen, right? But it all stems from like, how are you going to find joy internally? How are you going to find it if you're hating on yourself, right? How do you find that? It's really fucking hard to do. I have been there. I spent like 2 years eons ago in this deep, dark depression where I seriously was ready to, I was this close to becoming like a news story of the mom who killed herself and her kids. I was so close to that. I cannot tell you how scary it was. And I woke up that morning. I'll never forget the morning that I woke up and I just went, I can't do this to my children anymore. How am I even letting them move forward in this world, in this nasty, disgusting, I don't want them to go through this suffering. And I had this moment where I decided that I was just like, I did not want them to suffer the way I had suffered. And I looked at my whole life and I felt like it was all suffering. What was it worth? None of it was worth anything. And I started painting pictures, very, very dim, very, very bad pictures in my head. And something clicked over, and I just went, wow, you went there. Like, this is where you're at? This is where you're at. And everything. I hated my house. I hated my body. I hated my marriage. I hated my finances. I was even bitter towards my children because that was more responsibility. It was more that I had to take care of, and I had nothing to offer. Nothing. Zero. Zip to give. And in the darkest of hours often comes the opportunity for miracles to happen and for great light to be revealed. And that's what happened. Was in that moment I woke up the next day with a completely different scenario. Like, God threw me a different scenario, threw in an earth angel into my world that came along and went, wake up. Pull your head out of your ass and wake up. Exert a little bit of self-love. Remember who you are. I remember who. Me. That's who you have to remember. You have to remember you. Self. Getting into alignment with self. And from there you tap in. There you start to find love. There you start to find everything. And that's where joy stems from. That's where happiness stems from. And that's where you get a little less reactive. It's a learning process. It's an ongoing process. It's a forever process. We don't just not reactive anymore. No. Consistently reactive is just making those decisions to not exert that reaction, to not buy into that reaction so much. And it starts with, waking up in the morning like I did this morning. I was like, hey, look at this. Look at my boobs today. Like, I was just like so happy about my boobs this morning. I was happy about my boobs yesterday. I was happy. I've been happy about my boobs for like 10 days now. I don't know exactly the day that it switched, but all of a sudden I was like, I don't know what's going on with the girls, but they're feeling good. It's feeling really great. And I don't have all this tension in my chest, and I don't have all this, and I don't have all this tension up here. I don't know, but it was just really good for my boobs. I feel like I got a boob job. I mean, like a spiritual boob job, an energetic boob job. And I praise the Lord here. I got a boob job, and guess what? I think they're a little bit fuller. I think they're a little bit more perky, all this kind of stuff. I don't know. I'll get a second opinion on that later, maybe. I don't know. But it's not my breasts that bring me the joy. It's the fact that I feel joy inside, even with shit, big shit, going down around. There's still this piece of me that is hardcore, just locked into God's center, into that core of happiness, of knowing that life is here to support us. Maybe not always the way we want or the way we think we want, but it is always here to support us. And happiness, joy, beauty, appreciation all comes from that knowing space. And we can say, well, I just don't know. Well, Kendal, I just don't know. I don't have the faith that you have. I don't have the certainty. I haven't lived the things that you've lived. I haven't read the books. I haven't gone through the training. I haven't blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. Close your fucking eyes. Take a moment. Stop with all the constant static that you provide yourself to avoid you. Because that's what you're doing. Can you get into the car and not listen to music? Can you come home and eat without listening to the TV or playing on your phone? Can you have just a moment where you're not filling the void with something to create the static to avoid yourself? Can you take a breather and actually notice, oh my gosh, I'm really fucking tense and I'm holding myself like this right now? And what are we doing? Guess what? When we armor up, because that's what that is, when we armor up, we're not just armoring up against everything out there. We are armoring up against ourselves. We are armoring up against the connection to source. That's what we're really armoring up against. The outside world doesn't matter. We sacrifice who we are when we pick the armor up. That's how we block ourselves from us. That's how we block ourselves from God. So the beginning stage of this is to go, oh shit, I'm armored up. I'm tense. I'm tight. And do what? Breathe into it. So simple. So simple. So easy to do and so easy not to do, right? Because it's comfortable to armor, because it's comfortable to be numb, because it's comfortable to run, because it's comfortable to hide, because it's comfortable to be the victim, to be reactive, to point fingers, to do all this kind of stuff. It's comfortable because that's the life that we've lived. That's the world that we live in. Everybody else is doing it. It doesn't make it healthy. Doesn't make it right, and it sure as fuck isn't going to bring you happiness and joy and put everything in the places that you want it, in all the spots in your life that you want it to be filled up in. That armor is blocking you from it. That armor is keeping you away from your dreams and your desires and the feel good. So slow the fuck down, close your eyes, silence the moment, take 5-10 minutes to really tune into you, to breathe, to soften the muscles, to let the belly drop, to let the shoulders drop, to feel the tension and the pain, maybe the sore back or the sore neck. It's okay. You've been holding a lot. The year has given you a lot. Your life has given you so much to hold. But you got to put it down so that you can gain direction. So you can feel yourself and so you can get clarity. You want to engineer the life that you want? Well, you got to find your center first, right? Where's your true north? How are you ever going to find your true north if you don't even know where your core is at? Kind of impossible. But breathe. And breathe in. Breathe in life. Breathe in your heart. Feel who you are. Tap into that space. And if you really do this and you really start to feel, guess what you're going to feel? Number one, you're going to feel this agonizing pain. Okay? FYI, you will feel an agonizing pain that will make you want to stop doing this little simple 5 to 10 minute practice. You're going to go, that hurts. I don't want to feel the pain. Whoop. And you're going to have to start back at the beginning. And you're going to have to drop it all back down. And then you're going to have to close your eyes and go in. And guess what you're going to feel? You're going to feel that agonizing pain. But if you have the courage and if you had the desire to love yourself and to change your world and transform everything, then you'll breathe through the pain. Okay? So no matter what you're working with, the process here is numbness, pain, pleasure. You don't get to have the pleasure without going through the pain. Plain and simple. You will not get the pleasure without going through the pain. You've been carrying a shit ton all this time. You're armored up. You're not used to it. You are not programmed for pleasure. You're not programmed for joy. You're programmed for avoiding pain. So you have to push through the pain. Your mission is to push through the pain. And that is a consistent process to do over and over and over again. It becomes a practice, and slowly that wall of pain will drop down, and you will have moments, flickers, butterflies of beauty, of love, of softness, of peace coming through that wall, and it will start to crack the wall, and it will start to move things. And yes, you're still going to feel pain. You're still going to have shit happen in your world. But once you make it through to that pleasure, to your true heart, then you're always going to be able to tap in, because you can anchor right there. You can hook up to that, and then you can pull from it, and then something happens, and you can go, and you can reconnect. Anybody who's around me has seen me do it 1,000,001 times. Shit will come at me, and I go quiet, and I close my eyes, and I breathe. I just go. That's a sign that I hit pain, that I hit something that's a little uncomfortable and I'm not really down with it. It's like, whoo, that's pushing me. I feel that right there. But I have learned that that thing that scares me the most is exactly what I need to run towards and I need to bust through, because on the other side of it is where everything that my heart desires is at. That's where all the good shit is at. And that's what I want. And I want the good shit. And I want to feel great. And I want to feel good in my own skin. And I want to feel good in my heart. And I want to feel good in my mind and in my spirit and in my relationships and in my finances and in everything. So I have to run toward that. And I have to push through it. And that's the mission, is to push through the pain. But it starts with what? Well, the conversation started with body image, right? Well, where does it start? Where's your body image issues? Push through the pain of seeing yourself, truly seeing yourself. Push through the pain of that critical eye that you're having. Push through the pain of all the judgment, because everything that you see on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and billboards and magazines and Hollywood and all that is all perfect in what we've been told is perfect, right? Sorry, people driving by. But you have to push yourself through it. You have to breathe into it. And you have to be willing to see. And until you're willing to see yourself for the beautiful, amazing, worthy person that you are, worthy right here, right the way you were made, in skin that you were created in, that you have created through the course of your time here on this earth, the life that you have blessed yourself with. Start loving it. Because what we appreciates. So appreciate your beauty. Appreciate love. Appreciate all the good stuff. Put your focus on that. And remember, you are worthy. You don't have to do anything except for appreciate yourself. And even if you don't appreciate yourself, you're still worthy. It doesn't change your worthiness. It just changes your ability to connect to your worthiness, to believe that you are worthy, to see it, which is going to dim down your possibilities of experiencing it. So yeah, there you go. There's my rant of today. And I love my boobs today. I love my boobs. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Boobs are good. Who doesn't love boobs? Yeah, so. On that note, I think I'm going to go take a picture in my underwear and bra and write an article on body image. Since we stole that from Jules today, I was like, that's what I'm doing. Talking about body love and appreciating my boobs all day long. So I might as well just talk about it a little bit more, put it out there, right? So yeah, I'm going to go take pictures. I'm going to take pictures in underwear and yeah, we'll see what comes of it. Notes. I don't have any classes running. I think that our Winter Wonderlust is sold out. Looked at registration this morning, and I think it's all sold out. So I need to do a quick head count on that. So sorry, folks. If you were going to come and you didn't buy tickets, tough shit. Catch me next August. Something like that, because that's when this particular workshop rolls around again. I do believe that we're only going to do one OCamp next year. So if you don't make it to August, well, then catch you in 2022. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? The world is changing. Life is changing. Transformation's happening. I have no freaking clue. I have a clue, but I don't have a clue. So yeah, other than that, there's really no workshops going on for the rest of this year, but you can catch me here live streaming all December and into January. There's going to be some beautiful adventures coming up and everything. So look for those adventures and follow me with my musings and, on social media, and just keep breathing into you. Keep coming back to your core. If you don't know what your core is, if you don't know what your purpose is, if you don't know who you are, slow the fuck down and believe that you know who you are. Just close your eyes and find yourself, because you're right there. They're not very far away from you. You're like right there. Okay? And on that note, remember, stop existing. Start living. Really, truly living, like thriving, because that's what you're supposed to be doing, is thriving. And that's a choice in your emotional state, which comes from your thinking. Thoughts create emotions, emotions create actions, actions create the world that we live in, and the perception that we are having comes from our thoughts that we are thinking, what we're choosing to buy. So if you don't like your outside world, if you don't like what's coming to you, Well, look no further than your thoughts. Okay? All right. That's how you thrive. That's how you do better than exist. That's how you live. That's how you get the lover in your bed, the money in the bank, the body that you want, the life that you want to have, feeling of freedom, feeling of peace, feeling of joy, love, all that kind of stuff starts right here. Goes to right here, right? And pay the fuck attention to right here, okay? Because this tells you if you are in alignment with you, with God, or not, okay? All right, I'll catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee, another live stream. Now, should I keep this as Conscious Coffee? Or should I change the name? I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, I love you guys. I'll catch you tomorrow.